Good morning. My name's Lance, and this is Julia, and this is our first official Q&A. I don't know if that's true. We might have done one earlier, but we didn't tell people about it. So anyway, a little bit about us. We're vegan. Julia's been vegan for a couple years. Yeah.
In August. A couple years in August.
Once we hit August, so like a year and a half. And then I've been officially vegan. I was mostly vegan when she went vegan, but I've been officially vegan since January. So anyway, we put it out in the sphere that we were doing this Q&A, so we wanted to just jump on into some questions. So on Instagram, we had Maroon58. He asked, or she asked, not sure. Dana, it's a girl. She asked, any good WSLF snacks for road trips? So on road trips, what do we usually get? So we usually go to Trader Joe's. The problem is
we
popcorn has oil.
Well, we have not done a WSLF road trip.
Yeah, there's a lot of good vegan road trip snacks.
Although I sort of did it on our way home from Christmas when we broke down.
Oh yeah.
I attempted to do it. So we stopped on our way for breakfast, and we stopped at Starbucks, and I got I think it's like a steel cut oatmeal or something. Anyway, I had it plain with just a cut up banana in it. So that was
But that was like going out to eat when we were driving. What's like a road trip snack though?
Yeah, but that's a good option if you're on the road.
Yeah, that's true.
There's Starbucks everywhere.
But and then just a bunch of fruit and salads are easy to pack.
Another good option if you're on the road and you want to stop somewhere is, sounds weird, but Wendy's, because they have just baked potatoes, so you can get a baked potato
on the road.
You can get a baked potato on the road.
I can also apply it to myself because I work a lot, and so I have to kind of eat on the road when I'm working. The couple things that I eat are I'll grab a Tupperware and put salad in there, which is great for shaking up the salad anyway. Or I'll just get a Tupperware full of rice and just put some seasoning in there, or do a rice bean mixture or something. And that stays good the whole day. It can just kind of sit in that Tupperware. That's literally what I did today. It's the only thing I ate is rice and beans all day today. And because I was on the road all day working, so.
It's on the road.
So that works.
But for like other WSLF snacks, yeah. So
then I also posted it on Facebook. Aaron Johnson, cheapest, most nutritious way to eat. WSLF, honestly.
Is that even a question though?
Yeah, he said.
There's not a question.
There's not a question mark. There's a smiley face by it. But potatoes and rice, both nutritious and vegetables, all way cheap, all delicious. Bryn, who watches the channel a lot. Hello, Bryn. Bryn, hardest animal product to give up. For me, probably hamburgers. I still occasionally crave a hamburger, and yeah, blah, blah, blah. People will be like, just watch more documentaries on the cruelty, whatever. It's just the flavor and the atmosphere of hamburgers I miss. And I haven't found a good substitute.
Mine would have to be ice cream. Only because if you're going out with friends to get a treat, most places don't have vegan ice cream as an option.
Yeah.
So, or like frozen yogurt, like they have the fruity flavors, but I don't like the fruity flavors. I like the chocolate flavors, and they never have that vegan. So
sucks. Next by Bryn, do you have any baby names picked out? Yes. What's your favorite and least favorite thing about being vegan? Favorite is just kind of being guilt-free, knowing that I'm not harming any animals or trying my best not to harm any animals. Is my favorite. My least favorite is it's just difficult. So instead of just quickly going out to eat, it's like sorry friends or sorry family, we got to figure out a place that works for us, blah blah blah, and it complicates things more, and I don't like that.
However, two of the friends we've been hanging out with recently have stopped eating meat.
Yeah.
So it makes it a lot easier when we go out with them because they're also not eating meat.
And that's the hope for us, at least, is that a lot more people will start going vegan, and then eventually we won't have to run into that issue because every place will have vegan options, and our friends will be vegan anyway. So.
I didn't get to answer.
Oh, go ahead.
My favorite thing is just feeling better, feeling healthier. Is that bad? I should say my favorite thing is the animals.
No, yours is healthy. That's fine.
My favorite thing is just feeling better in general, having more energy, and knowing that I'm fueling my body the way it's supposed to be fueled. So, and then my least favorite thing is when we're around family. Not because it's, I don't think it's hard necessarily. I just think that it's hard for some family members to grasp what vegan is. So because of that, they have a harder time with indie, which is hard.
Next is, what health benefits have you seen since becoming vegan?
Okay, some health benefits that I've seen since going vegan. Well, I'll start with Indy because I feel like hers is it's more obvious. Indy had really bad eczema and has always had really bad eczema ever since she was born. And I went vegetarian a month or two after she was born, and I was still breastfeeding her and stuff. And then I went vegan like 4 or 5 months after she was born, but I wasn't like being 100% perfect. And then when she started being able to eat stuff, Lance was pescatarian, and family members and stuff would still feed her dairy and eggs and things like that, and her eczema was always really bad. I also was buying like vegan like hamburger patties and chicken patties and stuff, which are really high in fat and really processed. So I cut all of those things out and officially, finally, just cut out all the dairy, all the animal products from her diet, and her eczema cleared up. It took like a month or a month and a half or something like that, but it cleared up and it's been gone ever since. So for her, that's been huge because her eczema was really, really bad. And then for me, health benefits? I don't know. Like, what do you think?
I don't know.
Health benefits for me, I would say, in general, just being able to eat as much as I want. I don't know if that's a health benefit, but it feels good to be able to eat as much as I want. And no, I'm not going to gain any weight from it. And especially while being pregnant. With Indy, I gained about 40 pounds at the end. And I'm 34 weeks now, and I've only gained about 13 pounds. So, I don't know if that's because I'm vegan now or whatever, but I'm not complaining about it. So, I think that's a big health benefit.
And then for me, it's probably the anxiety stuff, which I covered one of the earlier episodes. I had really bad anxiety, and now my anxiety is doing great. So, last question on Facebook: what's a great vegan meal recipe for hosting a party? And I was thinking about this question already. I think like soups and chilies are really good, and then really easy for parties and stuff because everybody just has a bowl of chili, and you can do like cornbread if you want. There's like vegan cornbreads, stuff like that. I think is a really easy. There's also fries.
Also, if you're not trying to be like super healthy or anything, which a lot of times at parties you're not, you could just do like dip, like chips and dip. Like, I mean, it's pretty simple. You could do salsa, you can do guacamole, you can do a bean dip. I mean, there's so many things. Trader Joe's has a ton of different vegan like dips and stuff, and there's just so many things that you can do. It's not limited at all to anything.
Yeah. Cool. So now those are all the Facebook, Instagram stuff. So now we'll get into the heart of YouTube questions. So Anna Boudion and a few other people I know, Freckles Vegan also said it. Wanted to know how we met. The short version is we both moved to Boise about the same time, and we both had the same group of friends. She was actually dating somebody else, and but we all hung out all the time and stuff. And I left to a trip to China, and I came back, and she was single. And soon after that, we started dating, and then soon after that, we got married. Is that a good version of the story?
Sure.
I fell madly in love. Then Freckles Vegan also asked what we do for work. I tell people I just do what pays the bills, but mainly what I do right now is build Kickstarter videos for clients. So
he does videography, is what he's trying to say.
Yeah, so there's a marketing company that markets for Kickstarter projects. They subcontract me to build videos for some of those Kickstarter projects. Lately, Julia's been doing photography as well, which is rad. We've shot a couple weddings together. Lately, she's been shooting for she shot for Owlet and Freshly Picked and like baby companies, which is super rad. They're huge companies, so I was way proud of her. And then I do a lot of graphic design and web design, and I don't know.
Random.
We're just creative
stuff.
people, and we just we network a lot, and so I try and do a lot of businesses. I guess the future of what I want to be doing, my goal, my 5 to 10 year goal, is to have enough supplemental income, whether some of that's from YouTube or whether that's from the products that I create or different things. We want to have enough supplemental income that we can travel, for one, so we can go live like in the Philippines for a few months at a time, or Vietnam or Thailand or wherever, Hawaii if we want to go live there. And then also I want to, when we're not traveling, I want to just help small businesses for free, because I've been in small business for a long time, and so I know a lot about small business. And a lot of times they can't afford to hire somebody to come in and give expertise or come in and just help them. So eventually I want to get to the point where I can just help small businesses for free. Could you make a Wslf recipe series, says Court? Yeah, we've actually had a few people ask us about that lately. Yes, we're going to, it might not specifically be Wslf recipes, but we're going to be doing vegan recipes and kind of do a once a week gig.
They will probably be mostly WSLF, since that's what we're leaning towards at the moment.
We love music, and a ton of these people that we're talking about, we've seen comments and stuff and interacted with, and you guys are great. We Love Music is one of them. I'd love to know when you two decided to go vegan and how your journey has been so far, with difficulties with friends and family, etc.
I started watching some documentaries on Netflix, and I would get to a point where I'd watch them and they'd get a little bit too intense for me, like with the things that they were showing with what was happening to animals, so I would shut them off and stop watching them. Anyway, eventually I finally finished watching them, decided that I was going to try going vegetarian for 1 week. So I did that, and it was way easy. I was like, this is not hard, and I wasn't craving any meat or anything, so I just kind of kept going with that for a few months. And then we went on a family trip, and I was vegetarian. I was the only one that was vegetarian. And so basically, like, the only options that my family had brought for me to eat were like heavy in cheese and dairy, which I had already known doesn't make me feel that good, as it doesn't make anyone feel that good probably. Anyway, and so we got back from the trip, and I decided that I was gonna cut out all dairy and eggs, and I already wasn't buying milk or anything. I was using almond milk. So it was pretty easy. The hardest part was like candy and stuff, which I didn't immediately give up when I had it, because anyway, but I would like bring my own vegan pizzas and desserts to parties and stuff, just so I had options. But so that was in August, and it wasn't really that hard. In August, I decided to, after the family trip, I decided to cut out all dairy and other obvious animal products like eggs and milk and stuff like that. And then occasionally I would just have some non-vegan candy. That was really rare, but I did have it occasionally, and I did have non-vegan desserts when we'd go to family's house and stuff. But this January, I finally stopped doing that, and I've cut everything completely out, and I'm 100% vegan now. So, and Indy's been 100% vegan since that same time. Yeah. And so is Lance.
Yeah, and I just kind of followed on our footsteps. I always knew I should be vegan, but I was just kind of scared of it. I didn't know kind of where to start. But whenever we'd cook together, we'd cook vegan stuff. The only time I really ate anything was when I'd go out to eat. So then in January, we just kind of cut the rest of that out. So, and then with families and friends and stuff, there's not really any difficulty. Like, everybody's super supportive. I think the main difficulty is just, there's obviously frustration when they want to go eat somewhere, and then we're like, well, we can't, and then, there's just difficulty there. It's not
that bad, though.
Yeah, it's really not that bad. I would say that's the only thing. And I think we feel it more than our family does even. We just feel guilty because we're difficult, so.
Yeah.
My question would be, this is Lila Hoopy. My question would be if snack fruits are allowed. If snack fruits are allowed, or all meals must contain a whole grain.
Snack fruits are allowed on WSLF, but Lance chose to cut them all out
For the 30-day challenge.
If you don't want to use like maple syrup or brown sugar to sweeten your oatmeal on WSLF, you can use like a banana or an apple instead or something. And then like if you're between meals and you're a little bit hungry and you just need something to hold yourself over, then yeah, have an orange or something. Like, it's not that big of a deal. It's still fruit.
Yeah.
And fruit's way good. And good for you.
So, Brown Blazable said, how much weight did you lose? I definitely see a difference from the start of the 30 days. Well, thank you. We're going to weigh first thing tomorrow morning. So we're going to breakfast, and so before breakfast we'll wake up and we'll film me weighing myself, and then we'll show you a before and after picture as well. I honestly don't think the weight is going to be much of a difference, but I don't understand how I don't know. We'll talk about that more in the morning.
First of all, the number doesn't matter, to be honest. So we're going to take a picture, another picture, and then you'll see the before and after, and he'll show you his weight. But really it doesn't matter about what the scale says, because who cares? It's how he's feeling and how visibly, if you can notice a difference. And I can notice a difference just by looking at him. So.
Aww. Alrighty. Happy Vegan Life. Sabrina commented, have people criticized you for feeding your kid a vegan diet? If yes, how did you react? And what arguments did you use to defend your decision? Honestly, no one's really said much at all. So
yeah, actually, to be honest, I've gotten the opposite. My family has seen how much Indy eats, which is a lot compared to the other toddlers in our family. For the most part, like, she's just always eating. She just eats so much most days. And my dad has commented on how like she's so skinny and healthy in a good way because of the way that we raise her. And she doesn't really like have any sweet craving. She doesn't like sweet stuff. She doesn't even really like fruit. She just likes starches, which is hilarious. But that's what she likes. But
yeah, we should have named her Tater.
No.
All right.
Anyway, but she is way healthy and happy, and so no one says anything, at least to our faces. So we'll see.
Haley Sony, how have you found being on a WSLF diet overall? I'm considering switching from heavy fruit, and then it cuts off. Overall, I think it's great. A lot of our friends will go, we've talked about this before, but a lot of people go on like these crazy diets or super strict, or even diets that are like calorie restriction, and so you're hungry all the time and stuff. And I don't fully grasp it because like why have a diet where you're hungry all the time if you can have a diet where you can eat as much delicious food as you want and still lose weight? How's your weight loss journey? So this is from Aussie JJ. How's your weight loss journey going? And favorite Instagrammers who are plant-based, if you guys follow some. You're more of an Instagrammer than I am.
My favorite Instagrammers that are plant-based is we really like Bonnie Rebecca, High Carb Hannah,
Mr. and Mrs. Vegan,
Mr. and Mrs.
of course.
Vegan, yeah. There's a lot. There's a lot. I don't know. If you just go on our Instagram and look at who we're following, they're basically all on there. So I don't remember all their usernames, but those are probably like the top ones, I guess.
Christine Crahant says, do you talk to your OBGYN about your diet, or do you just avoid the topic?
That's a good question. And no, I do not talk to them about it because I don't think it matters if I'm eating a vegan diet or if I'm eating a standard American diet, because I know the way I'm eating is healthy and is good for our baby and everything, and so I'm not worried about what they have to say about it. So I just don't say anything about it.
Well, it's the same, like, we called our channel Easy Vegans because we just want to be easy. And a normal person doesn't talk to their OBGYN about their diet. So,
and I'm just a normal
person. I don't think we
person.
should either. Yeah, we're just living life, you know?
Yeah.
Have you guys given any thought for baby names? Yes. Do you have any recommendations or advice for aspiring vegans who's in a relationship with a carnivore? Well, that's how we lived. Do you have any advice?
Well, there's lots of times where I wanted to, there was lots of times where I wanted to force information on Lance to, like, show him, because I love to learn about plant-based nutrition and about all those things. So I read all the books and all the articles and everything, watch all the videos. Anyway, and I always, like, wanted to talk to him about this stuff. And he would listen, but he wasn't really listening. He didn't really care. So, but just because I was doing it and we're married, he just eventually just started, well, he was already mostly vegan at home, and then just because I was cooking, and then, yeah, eventually he just chose to do it himself. So I didn't make him do it. I wanted to make him do it earlier, but you can't make people do things. So I didn't make him do it, and eventually he just did it himself. And it really didn't take that long, to be honest.
Well, from my point of view, which is kind of from your boyfriend's point of view, I respected what she was doing, and I was happy that she was doing it. I just thought I had too many cravings, and I just didn't realize that you could. I don't know. I just thought I couldn't do it. But then we started eating more and more vegan meals that I really liked. So then eventually I was like, well, it's a good cause that I believe in. I believe in saving animals' lives and not harming animals and not abusing animals. So it's just time for me to take the leap. And I know I'm sacrificing, but not as much as you think you are.
Well, the reality is that we think that by going vegan, it's going to be so difficult and so much more expensive and X, Y, and Z, whatever your thing is for your reason not going, for whoever's reason to not go vegan is. And it's not. It's not more expensive unless you want it to be. And it's not hard. There are replacements and substitutes for everything now. So there's even something at Sprouts called vegan tuna, which is
gross.
Gross. Comes in a little can just like tuna. But, like, who would have thought? Anyway, it's not hard. So I don't know if that was part of the question, but there it is.
What are some good vegan foods for kids? She has a 3-year-old and a 1-year-old. Oh, this is Arrington, MA. 3-year-old and a 1-year-old struggling to find fun foods that they like that are vegan. Well, so just normal things. So there's peanut butter and jelly. Indy eats peanut butter and jelly a lot. She likes lots of applesauce. Anything she can dip in ketchup. So we'd make homemade fries in the air fryer a lot, and she likes dipping those in ketchup.
She goes through stages where she'll really, really, really like one thing, and that's the only thing that she wants to eat, and it's basically the only thing she will eat, and she'll eat a lot of it, but then she'll switch to something else. So for a bit, it was like bread. She just wanted to eat bread. That's all she wanted, and, whatever. And, like, then she went through a stage where she only wanted to eat potatoes and ketchup. And just, like, weird stuff. But mostly starches. She loves starches. And like, yeah. Tonight she had applesauce and rice and all kinds of different things.
What was our inspiration for joining the YouTube community? So I will take charge of that question. I've just wanted to make a YouTube channel. So if you go search youtube.com/LanceIsTough, I had a YouTube channel like 6 years ago when I was or 7 years ago or something.
It's embarrassing. Right?
And it for sure is embarrassing. And I was like still learning how video worked. And so I was like just making really stupid videos that were like vloggy type videos. I interviewed myself. Anyway, really stupid. And I've always really respected the YouTube community. But the last few years I wasn't super into it. I wasn't watching a lot of YouTube. And then a few months ago, like the beginning of this year, I started watching a lot of YouTube videos again. And started watching people like Casey Neistat and Yoon Olsen. And if you watch Yoon Olsen, you'll see that a lot of similarities between our editing styles. He obviously puts a lot more time into it than I do, but I just really wanted to start creating something, and I thought if we could vlog for a solid year at least, that would be a really cool year of our life when Indy was a toddler and when we have a new baby, and it'll just be really fun. And then, you know, if we end up getting subscribers enough to make a living at it, then we can start traveling a lot more. And I just think the YouTube community is super rad, and it's something we really wanted to be a part of. And so thus far we put a crazy amount of time into videos, and we'll continue to do that, and hopefully you guys like what we put out. So last question is from Sarah. She wants advice for someone. She's thinking about going vegan, and she wants advice because in the past I've mentioned that it was a slow process for me. And for me, I don't, like, for Julia, she jumped right into it and just went vegetarian for a week and then went mostly vegan for just right off the bat. And for me, it was way more of a transitioning process where I had to figure out foods that I liked and whatever. So it all depends on your, I don't know, how you work.
Okay, so a piece of advice that I have is that when I transitioned to going vegetarian, which I didn't eat a lot of dairy, so anyway, it doesn't matter. But when I transitioned to go vegetarian, I went to Trader Joe's and I bought these chickenless chicken strips. I bought tofu. I think we bought this vegan chorizo stuff. And I used those as a replacement to meat for the first little bit. I don't know how long it was, but it wasn't that long. Because I bought them because I thought I needed them. I thought that I would crave meat and that it was going to be really hard not to have meat. So I bought those substitutes to have in there to kind of like help me with that. And then so I did that for a little bit, which probably really did help me. And then over time I realized that they really didn't add that much flavor to my food. Well, except for tofu. But like the chickenless chicken didn't add much flavor to my food. It did add texture, but I didn't really care about that. Anyway, so eventually I stopped buying those things. But I would say a good piece of advice is if you don't think that you can do it, like you're just like super overwhelmed with the thought of not eating any meat, and not eating any dairy either, then just buy the substitute for a little bit that they have for vegans and use that, and then eventually like start trying things without it, and you'll probably realize that your food doesn't actually need it and that it's still really good. Like pizza, for some reason the thought of pizza without cheese is like crazy to people, like ew, why would you even eat that? But really, cheese doesn't even add that much flavor to your pizza, it just adds a lot of fat and a lot of grease. So as long as you season everything properly and the way that you like it, it's going to be pretty easy. But yeah, buy substitutes in the beginning if that's going to make it easier for you. That's my advice. That's good advice, don't you think?
Yeah, that's really good. My main advice is that, just take it at your own pace. So if you know that you're not a Julia type personality that's just like just crazy motivated to do what you set your mind to, then don't go cold turkey. Like, there's no shame in taking your time to transition, because then you'll have these meals. The first week you'll come up with a meal and be like, oh, this is a really good vegan meal. And then the next week you'll come up with another one. Then all of a sudden you have two. And then next thing you know, you have enough that you're just eating those all the time and it's not a big deal. And then you can kind of officially say, okay, now that I'm eating it all on my own, but I'm still having a candy bar here and there or eating it when I go out to eat, at some point you can just set the line like, okay, from now on I'm going to be fully vegan, and you can get rid of all your leather stuff and just go full on out. So it just depends on your personality type. For me, it was for sure a transition process. Anyway, thanks so much for watching. That is our question and answer. As far as the WSLF, this is my last night. I still don't know what I'm going to eat for dinner. I'll probably go make some hash browns right now. So beans and rice and hash browns for my last day. I'm pretty excited. Like, the last few days have been really rough, so I'm really excited just to eat whatever I want now. But at the same time, I'll probably eat pretty similar for the most part. But I'm going to do the main overview and stuff tomorrow because it's been a really long day. But I'll weigh myself, and tomorrow will be my main overview of how I felt during the 30 days. Cool. Well, thanks so much for watching. We make videos every single day, and then we post them the next day at 8 a.m. Those videos cover what we eat throughout the day, recipes, and then also the adventures that we go on. So we live a pretty good life. I'm pretty happy, and you could live that life too. If you liked this video, and if you go check out our other ones, and if you like them, subscribe. We'd love that. We'd love a thumbs up too. Any comments? We'll be doing these Q&As more often. I was just scared that no one would ask questions.
Next time, though, our Q&A is going to be a mukbang or mukbang. I don't know how to say it, but it's going to be one of those. And it's going to be, I wanted to do it tonight, but since Lance is still doing Wslf for tonight, I didn't know what we would eat, like rice. That's boring. So next time, it'll be that.
And for those of you who don't know, apparently that's where you eat some new food or something while you do a Q&A.
You just eat food while you...
You just eat food,
I think,
while you do a
something
Q&A.
like that.
So that's what we're going to do next time. We'll eat while we do a Q&A, so it's not just us sitting here.
Yeah, we'll eat some delicious vegan food. Maybe pizza, maybe pasta, maybe bread. I don't know.
All right, see you later.